Hello artists and welcome! Today we will be working in the fiber studio. The activity that we will be doing today is weaving on the loom. Here is a picture of the loom we'll be using. Weaving is done all over the world and you can find it just about anywhere, such as in clothes, textiles, fabric, or rugs. The materials that we will need today are a loom, yarn, and scissors. As an option for a challenge later, you can also use beads. For virtual students, we will have all the materials featured in the video for you to pick up in a kit, with the exception of scissors. Also, you might have other materials that you can include in your weaving that we might not have in the art room, so maybe take a look around your environment. The first thing we will do is to bring out our loom. You can see that the loom has 7 black yarns going up and down. These are called warp strings. We will be weaving across those 7 black strings with our weft threads. Next, choose the color that you want to start on the loom first. I'm going to use my yellow string. I'm going to start on the bottom right side of my loom, and I'm going to take my string and put it underneath this first thread. And then I'm going to pull almost all the way to the end, but I want to leave some string at the end. So it should look a little like this, where there's a little at the end and the rest is on the other side. Now we are going to start a pattern that we will do throughout the whole loom. So we're going to find the end of the string that we have on the left side, and then we're going to go over this first one, and then we're going to go under the next one, and you'll pull it all the way through. So you can see that I'm going under, over, under, and then we're gonna go over, and then can you guess what we're gonna do with this one? That's right, we're going to go under that string. So you can see that I've got a clear pattern going on. I've gone under, over, under, over, under. And you're going to do that till the end of your row. So I'll go over, and then I'll go under at the end. Once you get to the end, we are going to alternate the pattern onto the next row. So if we ended going under, then we're going to move up to the next row and go over, and then start the next pattern. And then, so see, we went over at the end, and then the next row would be under. So if I pull these through and straighten them out, you can see there's the over, under, under. And so then you're going to continue this pattern to the other end of this row. So we're going to move on to the next one. So if you noticed, we're now over this one. So that means we have to go under the next row. So you'll go under, just like this. So see how I moved up to the next one? So it went over, under, and then you'll go over again and under. We will continue this pattern till we fill up our loom. Note, when you go up a row, be sure not to leave any gaps in the weaving. So you can see here, I have some gaps. And one way to prevent gaps is to scrunch the weaving down each time you make a new row so that they're closer together. This will create a stronger, tighter weaving. And so to do that, I'll straighten out my rows and then I'll slowly scrunch it down. And so see how I've scrunched them all down so there's still those nice even rows, but they're much tighter and straighter, and it looks so much better. when you're also weaving, you are going to want to avoid an hourglass shape weave. An hourglass shape weave is when you weave the yarn too tight each time you go up a row, and it tightens the black warp threads, creating an awkward hourglass shape. So it'll look a little like this, and we do not want that. So when you go up a row, be careful and make sure not to tighten it too much, because when you pull the harder, see how that's pulling on the warp threads? We don't want that. So make sure that you're not pulling too tight. For an added challenge, you can weave in some beads into your loom. To do that, you would take the bead that you want. I'm going to use this little pony bead. I'm going to decide where I want it on the loom, so I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to make sure that my yarn can fit right through the yarn. And then, so I've got this little bead here, and then I'll just continue on my pattern and add beads when I want to. For an even bigger challenge, think about how you might weave beads into a shape or image. A hint for how to do this is to think about the loom as a checkerboard and think about where you can place the beads to create an image. So say you wanted to make a smiley face. I'm going to find the beads that I might want to use, and then I'm going to think about where I might place them on the board, so I could place them in specific ways before I put on the fabric or before I put on the thread, and then I'll weave them in. And here we have it, artists. Here is one of my completed looms, and here is Ms. Cutterly's completed loom. You can see that we both filled up the entire loom. I used different colors of yarn and made sure that I didn't have any gaps or hourglass shapes. And same with Ms. Cutterly. And in Ms. Cutterly's example, you can see that she used her beads and imagined a circle, and that is how she applied her beads. I can't wait to see your completed weavings. See you next time.